Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Elin Nurlaila and I am from 8th semester. In this session or in this video, I will explain the material about semantics. So, watching the video. Okay, I will explain about semantics. For the first, introduction to semantics. Definition of semantics. Semantics, branch of linguistics that studies about the meaning of morphemes, words, phrases, and sentences. In analyzing the meaning, we should have knowledge. It's called semantic knowledge. There are three that concern with semantics. For the first, psychology, philosophy, and linguistics. Psychology concerned with how individual humans retain, recall, or lost information, and philosopher concerned with how we know any particular possible fact. And the last, linguist concerned with how the language works, what common knowledge they possess when they share the language. And the last, three ways in analyzing semantics. There are lexical relation, semantic properties, and semantic rules. Lexical relation. Analyzing the meaning by seeing lexical relation between each other. There are synonym, antonym, entailment, contradictory, ambiguous, and anomaly. For the first, entailment atau logika. Relationship between sentences whereby one sentence will be true or false, so the other also true or right. Something that logically follows from what is asserted in the utterance. For example, everyone passed the examination, and no one failed the examination. And then everyone success in examination. And then the second, synonym. When one is true, the other must be true, or vice versa. For example, A. Jack put off the meeting. B. Jack postponed the meeting. From these two sentences, we know that the meaning of first and second sentence is familiar. And the third, contradictory. When no one is true, the other is false. There is no situation in which they are both true or false. For example, A. Jack is in the school. B. Jack is sick. These two sentences has different meaning because if Jack in the school, it is not true that Jack is sick, vice versa. And for anomaly. Meaning of anomaly clues to metaphor or kinds of figurative language. It might require a lot of creativity and imagination to derive the meaning. It is called anomaly because it is a problem at the word as semantic. For example, wall has ears and time is money. And the last, ambiguous. Words or phrases have more than one meaning. For example, the boy saw the man with the telescope, and the meaning, first meaning, boy who saw a man holds a telescope, and the second meaning, boy who saw a man by using telescope. And next, semantic rules. Semantic rules, analyzing the sentence by seeing the rules of each word in the sentence. Analyzing the meaning of sentence by seeing the rules of the word. It is called as semantic rules. There are 8 rules that we have to know. For the first, agent, actor, affected, affecting, associate, effect, place, and theme. The first, agent. Role the express person who conduct the action which affected or something changed as the result. For example, Tony broke the window. Tony as the agent because when we see the verb and the object of the sentence, we know that Tony does something that make it change. And the other example, Angga burned the bread. Angga is the agent of this sentence because Angga made a change in the bread, so it is affected the object. And next, actor. Actor, role that express a subject of the sentence who didn't evoke to object. For example, Sylvie left the room. Sylvie is an actor because in this sentence what Sylvie has done didn't evoke the object didn't change at all. And the other example, the mother loves her daughter. The mother is actor because the predicate of the sentence didn't make a change in object of the sentence. And next, affected, role that express verb which indicate the change of the object. For example, the judge hit the wall. Hit is the affected because it affected the change of the object. And next example, the carpenter broke the wood. Broke is affected because this predicate changed the wood. And then affecting, role that express the predicate which didn't give any effect to the object. Example, Suchi likes opera. Opera is affecting because it will not affect the object at all. And my aunt hates K-pop. Hates is affecting because it didn't make any change to the object. And then associate, roles that show the status or identify or another argument. For example, Roger is student. In this example, Roger is an actor of the sentence and student here is associate. It shows identify or the subject. And an example, Audrey is a computer expert. In this example, computer expert is associate because show the status of object. And then next, evoke. The roles that comes into existence through the action of predicate. It is a role for the object of the sentence. For example, Yuli baked a pie. In this sentence, pie is an evoke. A pie exists after the process of something. It is the result of baking process, so bake here as the affected. An example, the carpenter makes a table. In this example, a table as the effect of the sentence because it is through the process of making table. And next, theme. The roles that indicate the object of the sentence. It is an object with predicate didn't express any active action. For example, the girl likes the cat. In this example, the cat is the theme. The predicate likes here didn't show any active action. It didn't give any effect in the object. So the cat is theme. Next, place. The roles that express place or location in the sentence. For example, the fireman climbed a ladder in the park. In this example, the place in the park show the location of the sentence, so its role is place. And next, another rules. There are instrument and source and goal. Instrument, a role that is used to help doing an action. For example, Annie broke the window with hammers. Annie, agent, broke, affected, the window, effect, with hammers instrument. Hammer is a tool that used in breaking the window. And then, source and goal. These two rules to show the action that related with the source and also the directed of the action. For example, Susie write a letter from morning until afternoon. Sushi, agent, right affected, later effect, from morning surge until afternoon cool. Okay, next, semantic properties. The other ways in analyzing the meaning by using semantic properties. Semantic properties is the way in seeing the meaning of the word by seeing the properties or content of the word. Every word has the content that build a word. The components of a word has the values, positive and negative. The positive value means the word has the values that contain. When it has the content, we have to put positive symbol before the content. The negative value means the word didn't has a that content. When it isn't has the content, we have to put negative symbol before the content. In describing the semantic properties, we can use both values, whether it is positive or negative values. So we can combine those two values in describing the meaning of a word. For the example, man, positive male, positive adult, and negative female, negative kid, and cat, positive animal, positive pet, and negative wild and negative herbivora. Next, semantic versus pragmatic. If we talked about the study about the meaning, so it will concern with two discourse, semantic and pragmatics. Both analyze about the meaning, but we have to know when we analyze a word under semantics and vice versa. Semantics concerned with a speaker's competence to use the language system. In semantics, it is concerned with the meaning systemically. We have to follow the rules in analyzing the meaning. And pragmatics, person's ability to derive the meaning from specific kinds of speech situation. In pragmatics, it is concerned with person adapt with the speech situation, it will have different meaning. In semantic, focus on morpheme, word, and sentence. It has narrow scope because only deal with the text itself and cannot use in uterine or conversation. For example, it is cold, and the meaning the temperature is low. And pragmatics focus on context utterance, where, how, and when the speech is uttered. It has wider scope beyond the text. It considers the fact or situation surrounds the utterance, and only analyze utterance or conversation. For example, it is cold, and the meaning give the blanket or close the window. Next in semantics is language and society. As you know, in study about the meaning, we may see the meaning contextually. Contextual meaning will be analyzed under pragmatics. There are three things that we need to know related with social knowledge of our language. For first, style. And the second, slang. And the last, jargon. For the style, there are two kinds of style language in daily conversation, formal and informal. In design, when we use formal and informal, we have to see social closeness, age of address, and social background. For social closeness or social familiarity to another person, more intimate social relationship would represent greater social closeness. For example, family and best friend have an intimate relationship. If it is intimate relationship, informal style is being used. Next, age of address. Age is important in some countries. In these countries, we will use formal language to the older, and we use informal to the younger one. And then social background. Every country has different culture, so we have to know what kinds of culture in the age place. Some countries or some place will judge people based on the social background, whether hierarchy, education, or status. And in the higher level, people intend to use formal language. And the second, slang, part of informal style, specific words and phrases. For example, won't I brew or become cup of tea, and don't have a cow, and the meaning try to calm someone. And the last, jargon, only understood by some group of people, specific vocabulary associated with a group. For example, I will absent without leave in military, and FYI, for your information, media social users. That's all from me. Thanks for your attention.
And that's all my explanation about semantics. And thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dah.